Okay, guys, time to get real. Time to actually just be open and honest and say what's what in terms of what I'm planning for the channel and what I'm planning for the project that I started talking about a few weeks ago, a project called Believe in Me. And this project was is something I've been planning to do for some time. But here's the problem when you're a content creator in the debunking community and in this part of the paranormal community. So much focus is based on investigations into haunted locations, and that's great, and I love that. Um, there are teams that I have followed for some time, um, and there are up and coming teams that I'm very excited about because they're using different techniques, which, in my opinion, has been needed. We need to see a different way of approaching some of these investigations. Nothing wrong with the old ways for the real teams, but an expansion on some of the methods, even if it's just to try them out, and for them to at times be a little bit more scientific as well. That would be amazing. So I want to just use this vlog to introduce people properly to the project, because if you haven't been in my lives, you may not know exactly what this project is, and I want to explain how it works. Now, first of all, some of you will know this, some of my newer subscribers won't, but I am a big supporter of talking about the paranormal beyond just talking to people who've passed on. I think that the paranormal as a whole needs to be looked at more, and there is a wealth of subject matter, there's a wealth of experiences, there's a wealth of topics that we could be discussing. And I'm going to be honest with you, as a content creator, that can be scary, because I am very much part of the debunking community. I have been for a long time, even before I started the channel as Paranormal. And it's something that I very passionately believe in. I believe in the ethics of the debunking community. I believe that the fakers should be called out. 100% I believe in that. But I would also like to see the topics extended. And I do plan on extending the topics. I do have projects coming up. Once the history of debunking is finished, there will be an expansion in the paranormal subjects. But it's scary because you think, oh, well, people in this community, are they going to want to hear all these topics? Well, let's find out, shall we? Now, the Believe in Me project is something I'd thought about for some time. Not with the title, but I wanted to encourage people to share their own paranormal experiences. And for a paranormal community, this is very difficult to do. So when I had a comment from a long-time member of the community and somebody I've known for some time, Stormy After Dark, who put a comment on one of my videos about how she'd had really bad experiences trying to share her paranormal experiences in live chats and in comments to content creators, that she was either completely ignored or she was dismissed. And sometimes people could be quite cruel. I've been there. I've experienced that myself, and it is frustrating. You're in a paranormal community and sometimes people won't listen, or they dismiss you as not knowing what you're talking about. I have every respect for those who go out filming, go out to location time after time after time to try and find evidence, to try and capture the paranormal. But that doesn't mean that if you don't go out and do the filming and do the investigating, that your experiences aren't valid. I have had many potentially paranormal experiences in my lifetime. I do believe in the paranormal. What I've also done my entire life is look for explanations. I've never blindly thought, oh, that's a ghost or that's whatever. I've always looked for explanations. But I have had some some big experiences that I cannot explain. And the first story that I'll be putting out, I tried for months to debunk it. Months. And when I'm in the middle of putting that video together. I'm hoping it'll be out tomorrow. And even when I was putting the video together, because I've drawn a little diagram of the building that it happened in, and I'm still trying to debunk it to this day, but I can't. I cannot explain it. And that makes it a story. That makes it an experience. I am going to be telling it exactly how it happened. And it's a story that I can tell. It's an experience that I can tell. It shouldn't be dismissed. It shouldn't be just not listened to. And that is the same for every single person who has these experiences and wants to share their stories. So the Believe in Me project, and some of the other content creators are taking this on board. I know that they're going to be doing their own versions. And I've said, that's great. This should be going across the community. But for me, the Believe in Me project is about collecting these stories from people and publishing them in various ways. Now, I do plan on publishing a book through Amazon with some of these experiences. Some of the stories will be in text, some of them will have artwork with them, some of them I'll probably do in comic book form, graphic novel form. And it will be available on Amazon, be available on Kindle. I also want to do some videos on some of the experiences. And it may be that if there are people who are happy to come on and talk about them, either on live streams or in a podcast, because if I do a podcast, it won't be live, it'll be pre-recorded, so there'll be no pressure. But release these stories in different ways. And this isn't about releasing the stories and saying, this is what happened, this was paranormal. It's about releasing the experience and people listening. Not people dismissing, not people laughing and pointing, not people saying, oh, it's rubbish. However you debunk something, however you explain something, it shouldn't take away from the experience itself. The experience itself is questioned way too much. I have 5 or 6 really big experiences, a lot of little ones over the years, but 5 or 6 really big experiences that I can't explain at all. I can't explain them at all. And like I say, I've tried. And the first one that's going to be released, short story, it's my first and actually only experience of a full body apparition. I can't debunk it. And I literally tried for a long time after it happened to debunk it, months. And like I said, I'm still trying to debunk it now. I can't debunk it. And I was, as much as I believed in the paranormal, I was really skeptical of full body apparition experiences. Not anymore. We shouldn't be afraid of telling our stories. Now, if you want to be part of this, or if you are thinking of being part of this, just a few more things to say. It's a shame I have to do it, but there's a few more things to say, because I want people who want to share their stories to feel safe and not feel judged because they've shared a story. So here's the thing. If you do decide to share a story that, for example, will go into the book, or I will tell online, or both, you don't have to give your real name. You don't even have to give your YouTube name. We can make up a pseudonym so it can be anonymous for you. So people aren't, if you're afraid of what people are going to say because you've said it, we can keep that. We can just give you a pseudonym. Okay? This is about getting the stories out there. It's not about pointing at people and saying, oh, well, this is what this person went through. If you want to have your real name or your real YouTube moniker, that's great. That's great. But you don't have to. That is not part of what I'm doing. So there are various ways that you can share the experience. and I'll put them up on the screen at the end of the video. But you can email me. You can message me through either Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. You can message me in Discord. There are different ways that you can do this. And you don't even have to, in the first place, message me in a story. You can ask questions. You can talk to me in advance. You can tell me how you'd prefer to do it. You could tell me whether you just want it in print or a video's fine, or whether you want to join me on a podcast or on a live stream. Any of those options. So please get in touch. I have had people start to share their stories with me, but let's get a book together. Let's get these stories out there on my channel. Let's get these stories out there in a podcast. And let's just show everybody that we can be vocal about these experiences, because I genuinely I am a researcher. I'm an ex-researcher. I believe in research. I believe in being thorough with my research. And I am very passionate that this is important, that people need to share their experiences. People also need to not be afraid to speak. And that's got worse in the last month. I mean, come on, it has. It's got worse in the last month because of all the drama. So let's start having a voice again, all of us, not just content creators, but people who are watching, people who are in live chats, people who are subscribed to channels, people who are commenting on videos. This is supposed to be a paranormal community. And in a community, everybody should have a voice. So if you want to, I am here so that you can share yours.